In the direction of Pokrovsk, the midday sky vibrated with the gentle hum of a small engine, bringing death from a distance. The Ukrainian Korshun team's FPV drone was once again pursuing its target. Two Russian infantrymen spotted on an open, unprotected stretch of road. From a low altitude, the drone's camera captured the panic movements of the two enemy soldiers, who suddenly realized their hunters were on them. Instantly, they scattered, running in opposite directions, trying to find cover in the empty, barren terrain. But the Korshun's speed and precision gave them no time to think. The FPV operator locked on to the first target and lowered the drone with full control. The first explosion shook the road, striking one of the two invaders. Seconds later, the second drone took off, chasing the last figure trying to escape through the brush, only to meet the same fate, overtaken and destroyed in its flight. Within seconds, the two enemy figures vanished from the Pokrovsk battlefield. At the same time, the camera's focus revealed three Russian soldiers hastily running down the narrow road, panicked, scattering for cover. They didn't know it, but the sky had already sealed their fate. And seconds later, a sharp explosion shook the air, one right in their midst, wiping out the entire group. The Korshun team's hunt for the day wasn't over yet. From the next aerial image revealed a group of exhausted Russian soldiers hiding under dense trees at the edge of a ruined building. Second group detected, 8 meters from last position, fix angle, prepare automatic detonation, replied the lead operator. The drone maneuvered low, gliding through the tree branches. In the final seconds before impact, the camera captured the anxious faces of the enemy, looking up. And boom! The sound of the explosion echoed throughout the small valley. Leaves flew, the ground rumbled, and within seconds, only smoke and the remains of bodies lay scattered beneath the now charred trees. The chase continued. A lone shadow moved. A lone Russian soldier in the field, raising his rifle toward the drone, firing into the air, challenging the hunting machine. Direct visual contact. Target resisting, one of the operators said, almost admiringly. Give him one last honor, the FPV pilot replied coldly. The Korshun drone shot like an arrow through the air at high speed, small bullets whizzing around it on the screen. But it was too late. In the final split second, the camera revealed the muzzle of the enemy's rifle still firing before everything turned into a blur of light and fire. A third explosion, signaling the end of the day's hunt. On the control screen, the Korshun operators were silent for only a few moments before marking the coordinates on the digital map and recording the results. 8 Russian invaders eliminated. There were no Korshun casualties, only efficiency, precision, and silence that accompanied each operation. The sky was silent again. But for those watching, the mission was more than a technical victory. It was a symbol of Ukraine's superiority and determination in hunting every invader down to their last hiding place. Under that sky, the Korshun team continues to prove one thing: there is no safe place for invaders on the land of Ukrainian Pokrovsk. At present, Russia's command is forming assault companies of women to offset heavy losses near Pokrovsk, Donetsk region, according to the Atesh partisan movement. Atesh agents embedded in Russian forces report that the command of the 506th Motorized Rifle Regiment has begun recruiting women into assault units due to severe personnel losses. This shows that the occupiers have exhausted their pool of mercenaries and contract soldiers and are ready to throw anyone to the slaughter, turning women into cannon fodder, the report on Telegram says. Atesh adds that beyond assault roles, women are used for infiltration missions. If an assault fails, they are ordered to change into civilian clothes and conduct reconnaissance, posing as locals. Our sources confirm that there is no way back for these women. Their lives depend solely on the mercy of their commanders, which can be earned only one way. The Russian army has completely lost any moral compass. The General Staff of Ukraine reported 120 combat clashes in the past 24 hours, with Russia most active in the vicinity of Pokrovsk, where Ukrainian forces repelled 39 assaults near 13 settlements. Recently, a Russian sabotage group infiltrated central Pokrovsk, killing several civilians before being eliminated by Ukrainian troops at a railway station. Despite ongoing shelling, civilians remain in the city, local officials said. The 110th Separate Mechanized Brigade released a video on Monday, October 20, showing the elimination of 2 Russian women sent to storm Ukrainian positions. Russians throw women into the storm. The 110th, together with our comrades from the 154th Motorized Rifle Brigade, recorded and eliminated 2 female occupiers, the Post reads. The soldiers were neutralized using drones. The location of the incident was not disclosed. Similar incidents were reported in July and August, when Russian women were spotted storming positions near Pokrovsk and Chasiv Yar. Notably, as early as late May 2024, Russia released a group of women from prisons to participate in hostilities in Ukraine, the New York Times NYT reported in June 2024, citing former inmates who remain in contact with those still imprisoned. According to their accounts, military recruiters took several women from a prison near St. Petersburg. However, it was unclear whether their release was an isolated incident, a pilot program, or the beginning of a broader recruitment campaign. The report stated that recruiters began touring women's prisons across the European part of Russia in the fall of 2023, offering inmates 1-year contracts to serve as snipers, combat medics, and frontline radio operators. The NYT reported that only about 40 of the colony's 400 prisoners agreed at the time. They were promised a pardon and a salary of around $2,000 per month, roughly 10 times the minimum wage in Russia. Former prisoners said that many women chose to go to the front partly because of the harsh and inhumane conditions in Russian prisons. In late 2024, then spokesman for the Kortitsia Operational Strategic Grouping of Troops, Nazar Voloshin, confirmed that Russia was forming reserves to intensify combat operations in the Kharkiv, Vremiv, and Pokrovsk vicinities, involving women who had previously served prison sentences in assault operations. Overall, the brief Russian advance toward Dobropilya ended in humiliation, and what was supposed to be a breakthrough that needed to take Pokrovsk into a pocket ended in disaster. The failure could not have come at a worse time for Russian high command, as Putin personally set the Donbass capture deadline at before the winter, with Russian political leadership boasting that the Russian army would complete the mission.